Hey fellas, your commissioner coming at you for what are we on now? Uh week 5. Is it week 5 already? Sheesh. Week 5 of NFL action. Had a lot of high scoring games to get into this week. Um, obviously solo this week, business as usual. Wednesday. By myself, got Brody growling and whining in the background. I don't know what his problem is. Jeez, he just wants to go outside and catch lizards and do a bunch of stupid shit, probably. So, not on my watch. Let me make that move real quick. Okay. Hogs obviously played a very close game, very good game against um, A&M, but gosh darn it, we lost again, 7 in a row. Um, I mean, didn't really expect to win, especially after they took the opening kickoff back for a touchdown, but thought had a chance to tie the game late. If we tied it, well, if we scored a touchdown, we probably just would have gone for two. Because honestly, what do we have to lose? That kind of rhymed. Wicked, wicked, wow. But we're sitting at what 1-4. Got Alabama coming to town this week. But I'll get into that in a minute. Let's go ahead and break off into a recap of last week's games. We'll start off with the Folgers Black Silk game of the week. And one team lived up, one team held up their end of the bargain. Blaine had a very good week, put up almost 178. Um, and that's with a lot of points on the bench, too. I mean, Ridley and Jeffrey on the bench. Didn't have a starting quarterback in Cam Newton. Picked up the red rifle, led them to victory. Rip still had a pretty good week, 120. Kind of inflated by his defense. His defense scored almost 30 points. So, I mean, but he did get zero out of a tight, out of his tight end. So, I mean, he got a zero from one position, still put up 120. Jordan Howard did absolutely nothing. Rip's now 2-2. Blaine is 3-1. So, Blaine's hot right now. I think you're going to continue to see him rise in the power rankings tomorrow, and just wouldn't surprise me at all. So let's go with next game. Other 99%. Kickers' lives matter. Savoy has continued to stay hot. Put up 141 this week. Duncan only puts up a modest 112. Really, I mean, outside of those two Thursday night guys and Cohen, just absolutely nothing from Duncan. His quarterback put up less than 10 points. Just not a good performance. He did have McCaffrey and Reed on bye, so getting them back this week. Obviously, Doug Baldwin's back. He looked pretty good. That'll help. Savoy put up 140 and he barely got double digits from Breeze. So, uh, yeah, the Jared Cook shit. Shit. Oh, Jared Cook. Well, Jared Cook just loves to prove me wrong. I just knew there's just no way. There's just no way that this was gonna happen again. Because I said this shit last year with Latavius Murray. I said, "Look, Latavius Murray, you dropped like $30 on Latavius Murray. He sucks. He's bad. Vikings line is bad. He's not going to do anything." And what do you know? He has a great season last year. Jared Cook pops off game one. Savoy drops some cash on him, picks him up. I say, Jared Cook, he's not even going to get 12 points the rest of the season. Well, what does Jared Cook do? He goes out there and just slaps his big old don in my face and says, "Here's 32 points for you, lads. Here's 32 points." Thank goodness it wasn't against me. We'll get to that in a second. But yeah, I mean, Cook had a really good game. I mean, 8 catches, 110 yards, 2 touchdowns, and Savoy's one of the hottest teams in the league. So Duncan's floundering at 1-3. Just a mediocre team from him. I don't expect it to get much better, to be quite honest. But We got the Night Kings and the Phallic Phenoms. Very close game, very good game. JD was able to pull it out 139 to 135. Wilson has been getting back on track. Well, his record doesn't show it. He's 1-3. JD's 2-2. Um, you know, he took the risk of starting Dalvin. Probably shouldn't have done that. Coming back from the hammy on short rest against a very good Rams team. But he probably would have ended up starting like Wilkins, which would have been even worse for him. Nyheim Hines, he picked him up. That looks like a great addition. I really wish I could have got him. But two really good weeks from these guys. What more can you say? Then we got Jesus. See, I'm conflicted, because we had two just monumental beatdowns this week. One was worse than the other one. Hold on. Well, let me talk about Hawk and Craig first. Hawk wins 160, stays just. I mean, I don't know where this came from, to be honest with you. I mean, Watson is just balling out. Fuller had a really nice game before he went out with an injury. He's got John Brown. He's got Goff. I mean, he's not super deep, Hawk, but man, dude, his starters are legit. His starters are legit. No other way to say it. I mean, tough. It really sucks to lose whenever you put up 152. I feel for Craig. Had bounced back, got back on track point wise, but unfortunately, now he could have played like half the league still would have beat him this week because it was just that kind of week. But he puts up 152, loses. He's 0-4. Hawks now 3-1. Stranger things have happened with 6 teams making the playoffs. There's certainly a good chance he could still get in, but he's got to get on a roll for sure. So now, okay, I'm going to talk about my team first because I mean we had an historic beatdown in the last game I'm about to talk about, and it deserves its own beratement. But before that, I just want to talk about my team real quick, or the lack thereof. First week, great. Second week, even better. Third week, we regressed a little bit. Honestly, should have won. I mean, we put up 130, 130-ish. Should have won, didn't. That's the way the cookie crumbles. And going into this matchup, Plunk is undefeated. Got off to a little shaky start first 2 weeks, but looked pretty good last week, or I guess 2 weeks ago. And I mean, I said it in the prediction, guys. I said it in the prediction. I said he was going to put up like 150. I was going to put up like 110. Well, I was wrong. He drops a good 178 on me. Not that would have mattered. He would have beat the vast majority of teams this week outside of one, I believe, which we're about to talk about. But to only put up 94 points. Now, Ben puts up 20. I mean, 20 is just kind of like the baseline for a quarterback with our settings. So I'm not going to rip him too much. Should have done more. I mean, only one touchdown. Just completely disappeared in the second half. Don't like to see that. And then you got effing Lamar Miller. This guy is so frustrating. And I knew that there's a chance that this would happen whenever I drafted this guy. He gets 49 yards. I mean, that's not terrible. I mean, there's guys. Dion Lewis is playing against me. Guess how many rushing yards Dion Lewis had this week? Go ahead and guess. I'll wait for you. If you guess 0 yards, you'd be correct. You would be correct. I mean, He scores zero. He has 0 rushing yards. Guess how many points he scored? You think, oh, he maybe had like 5 points, maybe. He scored 15 and a half points. I mean, what am I supposed to do? We had 9 catches for like 5 yards. I mean, it's just frustrating as hell. I mean, Lamar is such a good passing down back, and they effing refuse to throw him the ball. I just don't understand why. I mean, he should be getting 3 or 4 catches a game, and he doesn't. And Bill O'Brien hates him. Every coach he's had hates him. I hope he got hurt, honestly, in the second half, because otherwise Alfred Blue just took his lunch money and said, look at me, I'm the captain now. So Buck Allen, of course, he's going to come back down to earth, 6.5 points. You know, he could have got a touchdown, he didn't. Tyreek Hill, whatever, average ass game from him. 14 points. Michael Thomas sucks, scored 8.5 points. I mean, like, I don't know what happened to the Saints. They scored 33 points. Oh, wait, I do know what happened to the Saints. They had Alvin effing Kamara, who dropped 41 on my ass, which I knew he was going to do. I knew he was just going to bend me over and, you know, spank me like I'm an adolescent child. But, you know, and honestly, the fact that it's a blowout helps. You know, I was just able to just tune this game out. Honestly, I'd rather lose a blowout. As much, you know, if you're gonna lose, I'd rather lose a blowout than lose one close. The close ones are a lot harder to take than the blowouts. So, but you know, so I didn't even get into points all for me. Obviously, I scored less than 100 points. I mean, just inexcusable. It's inexcusable. Running back situation is one of the worst in the leagues. One of the worst in the league. I need Lev to come back and ball out. He's supposed to be back after the bye, so I think week 8 he'll be back, hopefully. And I mean, I need him to be a stud. I need him to be Todd Gurley. Otherwise, it's not going to go well. You know, Rudolph had a fine game. Allen Robinson, the Bears put up 48 points, and Allen Robinson has 2 catches. Thank God one of them was a touchdown. I mean, I dropped $6 on the Chargers defense. They're playing against C.J. Beathard and give up 21 points. Only got 2 picks, so they scored 9 points. I mean, and you know, it's not like I left good players on the bench. I mean, it's not like my bench just balled out. The bench was dog shit too. So whatever. Good for Plunk. He's 3-0. I'm 2-2. Could not look worse right now. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I might as well have 0 wins. So. Not happy with where my team's at. Brings us to our monumental beatdown of all time of history. Nick tripled Ford's score. Never seen that before in my life. Ford's team is just absolute dog piss. Not much more to say about it. 70.5 points. Honestly, Ford, you're lucky that I shit the bed this week, because if I didn't, you would have got an earful, but you know, I'm all out of hate. I used it all up on my team. So, you know, James White had 30 points. Kareem Hunt balled out 26. Corey Davis 31. Zach Ertz 20. 18 from Chicago. 10 from Khalil. 48 from Luck. I mean, there's only been a handful of 200-point performances in league history, and damn it, Nick's got about damn near all of them. So he is fully back in the race. It looked a little shaky early on, but he's sitting at 3-1. Ford's 1-3. And you know, I got to say, I mean, it's him and Hawk and Savoy and Plunk probably is the favorites, you know, to make it to the championship game right now. So, congrats. Blaine too, I guess. But you know, Blaine, whatever. He's not too much of a threat. So let's go ahead and break off into. So we had a lot of trades this week. A lot of trades. Not really any notable pickups. D.D. Westbrook got picked up for $5. That's a good ad. Kiki QT got added for $7. I threw in a late claim for him, $4. Probably should have bid more. I didn't. So good. That's a good pickup for Plunk. Good depth piece. Probably surprise pickup. We're both from Rip. He's going into the Lions Den this week, playing one of the hotter teams in the league. And Nick drops $9 on the defense. Drops $22 on Vance McDonald. I mean, he didn't have any other options out there. I mean, tight end sucks, and OJ's hurt and on bye, so I just feel like no one else probably even bid $5, $2 on him. So, but you got to get your guy. So he did. Let's see. I think these are the only three trades, I believe. 3 trades. If I missed another one, sorry. First one we had was Craig and Duncan. Duncan trades Devin Funchess for Austin Eckler and Philip Dorsett. Pretty fair trade. Eckler is surprisingly for a backup. I mean, he's had double digits every single week. He's looking like a better version of Buck Allen out there. And Melvin's still getting his. I mean, the Chargers have a really good offense. It's kind of hurting Keenan and the receivers. It also helps the fact that they don't really have a tight end. But and Dorsett's been pretty solid. Funchess has been solid. So, no real issues there. Big blockbuster. Plunk ships out Golden Tate, Courtland Sutton, and Devontae Freeman to get Juju and Dalvin. I mean, I think this is a home run for Plunk. Dalvin, once he gets healthy, I think is going to really turn it on and be a stud. Juju's obviously a stud. Selling high on Golden Tate, probably coming off his best game of the season. Devontae Freeman's washed and a bum, so he sucks, and Sutton is just a keeper play. So unless one of those guys get traded, so really good one for Plunk. Just the rich get richer, I guess. So. And then we had one pop off here about 4 hours ago. Craig made another trade. Traded with Ford. So let me just give you some insights on how Ford runs his team. I offer this guy, or I tried to get Duke Johnson from this guy a couple weeks ago. Granted, Duke's done nothing. He still has done nothing all season. And he's wanting like Allen Robinson or like Allen Robinson and somebody else for Duke Johnson. And what the hell, guy? No. And then he goes and trades Gronk, Duke, and Pierre Garçon, which 2 of those guys, whatever, they suck, for Cooper Kupp and TJ Yeldon. Now, I think this is a good trade. I think this is a good trade for Ford, for both of these teams, honestly. Obviously, Craig's getting the best player. He's buying low on Gronk, taking advantage of Ford being an idiot. But, I mean, Yeldon, when Fournette's out, and, Ford has Fournette, so he's trading for the handcuff. That's smart. And Kupp is a stud. So, honestly, it's a pretty fair trade. Let me go ahead and pass it on through. Uphold. There you go. But, the 2 other throw-ins, Craig's just kind of hoping that something happens with them, I guess. I mean, Garçon's a wash, but with that offense sucks. And maybe Duke gets going with Baker, but you never know. So, all right. So let's go ahead and break off into a preview this week's games. Let's try to speed it up a little bit. It's been kind of long. What's going to be the game? Oh my God. This team is so bad. Guess whose team I was looking at just now? Holy shit. Oh, that's a no-brainer. Okay. So we'll start off with the Scamps and Kicker Lives Matter. Projected to be pretty close. Duncan's projected to win 126 to 123. Not really loving my matchups this week. Duncan doesn't really have anyone on bye other than Tariq, which whatever. I've got Allen Robinson on bye, so whatever. Still not really sure who I'm going to play running back. I really only have 3 options. I mean, I got Lamar, Buck, or Bilal. So whatever. I think Duncan bounces back. Probably has a pretty good week. I have a solid week. Whatever. Um, we'll both end up 2-3 at the end of the day. So, jeez. How the mighty have fallen. JD and Ford, no analysis needed. JD, big. Ford might not crack 100 again this week, to be honest. I mean, he doesn't have a tight end and a flex in there yet. He'll throw Cooper in at the flex, but I mean, good luck at tight end, brother, because it's not great. So, Fournette's obviously out. So, yeah, his team sucks. Pretty big matchup here between Rip and Nick. Excuse me. Rip is supposed to win 136 to 118. Nick doesn't have a defensive player, and he might not add a defensive player from what I've been informed. So I think Rip bounces back this week. Did he win last week? No, he didn't. So I think Rip bounces back and hands an L to Nick. I just hate to see that. I just hate to see it. So I think Rip does get back on track. Should be a pretty good game here between the other 99% and Badonka Gronk. Projected to be 120 to 110 right now. Craig doesn't have a tight end and yet, but that's because he just traded for Gronk. So he's going to have Gronk in there, be projected to win. And I think he finally gets it, folks. I think he finally gets his first win, even though Savoy is on fire right now. Your luck's got to turn eventually with the roster that he has. So we got the Phallic Phenoms and the Swamp Donkeys. Blaine has a whole slew of players missing from his from his starting lineup right now. Throwback to the old days. Once he gets those guys in, I like his chances to win. I think he does move to 4-1, drop Wilson to 1-4. And then we got our Nestle. Look at that, folks. Look at that. Your commissioner's on it this week, isn't he? He just grabbed it right away. No thinking, no pausing, a little planning ahead. Your Nestle Pure Life. Can you see that? Nestle Pure Life game of the week. Nestle, Pure Life, it begins now, folks. You can visit Nestle.com for promotions. The ingredients, it's purified water, so it's not just straight out of the ground or from a mountain, but it's got some calcium chloride, sodium bicarbonate, and magnesium sulfate, all good stuff for you. Reverse osmosis or distillation, something like that. Be careful about the cap now, okay? The cap is a choking hazard for young children. I know we do have a couple of those in the league, so be careful whenever you do enjoy a good Nestle purified water. But Nestle Pure Life, the official water of the Morris Men's Fantasy Football League. Damn, that's good, eh? Obviously, I mean, how can you not pick this game? It's Hawk and Plunk. Projected to be very close right now. That's without Plunk having a tight end and a defensive player. Obviously, he has Trey Burton on bye, and the tight end situation on the free agent wire is not good. So I don't expect a lot of production from tight end versus, you got Hawk with Jimmy Graham. Really banking on him to catch a touchdown. Otherwise, he'll be irrelevant. So that one could be kind of a push. Battle of the flex, we got John Brown versus Quincy Enunwa. I love John Brown. I think he's very, very good. I don't think Quincy Enunwa is very good. I think the Broncos secondary is getting better. The defense is getting better. So I'm going to have to roll with John Brown, the battle of the flex. Plunk doesn't have a defensive player in yet. He's done this all season. He'll pick it up on the day of. Defenses don't really matter. Hawk just cannot be starting the Steelers defense against Atlanta. Atlanta's going to light it up. Big edge there for Plunkster. Battle of the receivers, you got Julio Jones and Juju versus Stephon Diggs and Jarvis Landry. Got to give the edge to Plunk there. Battle of the running backs, Kamara and Dion versus Saquon and Marshawn. Two solid guys, but Plunk has Kamara, so Plunk's going to win that matchup. So, and then battle of the quarterbacks. Well, Hawks starting the hot guy and Jared Goff at Seattle versus Plunk's got Matthew Stafford. I think Matthew Stafford wins that battle, and I do think Plunk stays undefeated in a very close game. He's got the edges in the more important positions, so Plunk's going to win that one. Hogs are playing Bama this week at home. Line is like 35 points, something like that. It's either going to be 56-0, or it's going to be like a 14-13 game. So time will tell. I guess I'm not going to give a prediction. I'm done with them. So, anyways, y'all be safe this week and good luck. And we'll be. Oops, didn't hit the stop.